Have you seen her?
She's supposed to be.
Okay.
Needed last night, so it started going on me like. Okay.
You got some rain this afternoon at your house.
And I put it all away and then Sunday.
We got all our beans, 2 kinds of peppers, right, cantaloupe, onions.
Yeah.
Well, asparagus is always in. Then I get
The July.
2 kinds of squash, 2 kinds of cucumbers, and something else. Broccoli, something like that. Anyway, cute, but I got them all like, all my vine stuff's in one little garden.
That's how they've done it.
All mismatched together, and I'm not like freaking out because it's choking out my pepper plants or something, so. I got my pepper plants in.
Oh, I'll make sure.
Well, it looks pretty nice, get just enough rain for your house.
What do you guys have?
But now I gotta work on the front yard, so
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Saturday,
So next this guy here.
Chris is
hopefully get all done.
Sunday it's supposed to rain.
Yeah, but they keep messing around with the rain, didn't that, we're supposed to get a really big storm today, and we didn't get it around us, Got 2 sprinkles,
Oh, Lord, here.
Did it?
Oh, yeah. Did it home too.
Not our house. Sprinkles.
And what point you got it worse, right? Otherwise.
We didn't get nothing.
There was an amazing wildfire that came through Charlotte today. So if you needed a textbook picture of a wildfire, that was it.
We didn't get anything, just a few sprinkles. On my back with the wind, I hung all my laundry up on the awning to make it dry, please. Faster than what I expected.
So sorry.
Okay.
Call the meeting to order, please.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Look up.
There's Ken.
Hello.
We hadn't even called roll.
So
yet.
trustee Pearson,
Present.
okay. Supervisor Kramer,
Here.
treasurer Dillahay,
Here.
trustee Vance,
Here,
clerk Reesma, here, all present, quorum present.
Board member conflict of interest statement, any?
No,
None.
I have one. I live in, I have a home in phase 2. Okay, phase 1 sewer project bank authorizations. I'm going to turn it over to the treasurer. She'll tell us what we need.
In order to comply with USDA and I'm jumping loud now.
There's nobody here, so
Yeah,
we're good.
point taken. In order to comply with the USDA bond requirements, we've spoken with the USDA and with the auditors. And in the interest of keeping things efficient and clean, I would like authorization for phase 1 to open a construction account and a separate RRI account with PNC. That's my motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? You want to explain further?
I think that's it.
Yeah, USDA requires it. We don't have a choice.
Now, we could have opened them with Citizens National Bank, but we run a lot of money through there, and the auditors, while it's a minor point, concentrations of credit risk with all of the money being with Citizens, I thought this was a good opportunity to diversify a bit and put some money with PNC in short.
could you just repeat the motion?
I move that we open
That we authorize the treasurer.
to open a construction account and an RRI account related to phase 1 of the sewer project.
Construction.
And Jan second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, phase 2, Jan, before you start, I'm going to ask Janet Vance to take over moderating, and I have to recuse myself.
Okay, at this time, we're gonna, go to Jan.
Same idea. I move that we authorize the treasurer to open a construction account and a separate ROI account related to phase 2 of the sewer project.
We have a
With
second.
PNC.
We have a second.
I'll second that.
That one will be with PNC, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the first one was at Awaken, correct?
No, they're both with Kinsey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nancy Sheboygan.
Nancy Sheboygan.
I went in and see it more carefully.
That's all right. I was probably writing and not listening like I should have been. Okay, so Jan made the motion. Who seconded?
I did.
Here's a-
Kim? Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Kramer abstains. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
You need one? Okay, number 6, phase 1. In your packet, we have a request from the engineer for 2 amendments. What we would call change order. A change order. But it's actually an amendment to our original engineer agreement. And he's asking that we reduce the phase 1 sewer expansion by $113,978. So instead of paying $786,238,000, we'll pay up to $672,260. That's the first one. The next one is on the, from Performance Engineers as well, on the equalization tank that EGLE is funding. The original agreement amount was $182,119. And again, he wants to reduce it. Boy, this guy's on $77,927.50 less, for a total of $104,191.50.
I'll make that motion to
Support.
accept those.
So discussion, the motion would be to give the supervisor, go ahead and
Give the supervisor authorization to accept them.
to sign. To sign for the board on both of these change orders.
Right.
I'll support that.
Any discussion?
Is there an explanation about how he's managing to save us $200,000?
Can you enlighten us of that?
No.
Okay.
I do know that out of the, let's go to the equalization tank. He just said that it was not that difficult. And even though the agreement is for 104,000, the new agreement would be for 104,000 and some change. We got a bill from him for about 63. So we have a little more coming. But I submitted that to EGLE today.
A little more credit coming or a little bit more of the amount?
Credit.
Okay.
Well, he's given us a $78,000 credit.
Right,
So he's gonna bill us 104,000 and some change over the course of that agreement for the equalization tank, of which we got a bill for about 63,000 so far.
okay.
So, any more discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Strike budget amendments, I have none at this point. Motion to pay the bills? Is there a motion to pay the bills?
Make a motion.
Motion is made by Kimberly,
Second.
and J.O. second.
Discussion.
Let's just take a
Can
look.
we have just a minute to look at those?
Yeah, with these over there.
Chris, the bill from ProNexus, is that prospective or for the time that they've already been here?
Those times we've already done that.
Where's that? Oh, I see it. Okay. Sewer. I want to call your attention to one item. on the second page of the bills, down towards the bottom, it says USA Blue Book.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's chemicals, okay? That's what she puts, that's the chemicals that she orders for the plant. But I want to remind you, USIC Location Services, we paid $926. Some of that includes our annual fee. However, there are other amounts that we have not paid them that have been in dispute for how long, Chris?
12 months.
At least 6 months. probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Somewhere, yeah.
and I would advise the board that we continue to hold firm. I mean, I've written letters to the president of the company, and I've talked to everybody, and all they give me is an excuse. But as we all know, Michigan law says we cannot pay as a board bogus charges or incorrect charges. We just
Right.
can't.
And we pointed out to them that those were incorrect.
I think I've sent at least, 3 or 4 letters and emails? So it's all on the record. I just wanted to make the board aware of that. Any more discussion?
a couple of things.
Yes, ma'am.
The PNC visa, that seems to be going, that process seems to be going better than the Elon Financial through the Citizens Bank.
Yeah, the Citizens Bank has been closed, or at least we've cut the cards up or taken the cards back. And Chris, have we closed it yet, or?
We haven't closed it yet, we were making sure that everything was clear.
Yeah, so it's on its last leg, so to speak, and PNC is now our credit card of record.
And then my other comment is LexisNexis, thank you for getting that account set up. That has been already a godsend in trying to find people whose mail is returned because we have bad addresses. I know you're using it, Jay, with the voters, I'm using it with tax bills.
It's pretty incredible. And instead of waiting for board comments, since you brought it up, Jay and his crew is just doing a tremendous job on the what do you call it, the voter, qualified voter list. And he's taken off a tremendous number of deceased citizens, a tremendous number of folks that have moved long since move away. And this is going to help us even better.
Well, and you know, this is reminiscent of the kind of the kerfuffle we had at the annual meeting, where it was asserted that we had more than 3,000 qualified voters on the rolls, which I was kind of taken aback by that comment because, you know, when the census in 2020 says there are 3,080 people and 21% of them are under 18, even if a good portion of them aged into the 18-year-old bracket and could vote, the idea that we could have 3,000 registered voters was
3008.
yeah, no, I didn't know that, and I was glad to hear that was the number, so that I had some scope of how big the project is.
Well, as our legal opinion said, it's qualified voters. If they're deceased, they're not qualified. If they don't live here, they're not qualified.
And a number of other things, so that.
So we were way under 3,000. But what's really cool, I'm giving Jay accolades here. I mean, he doesn't like to get accolades, but even with the large, we had quite a few people register this last time. New folks are moving up here all the time. The school got a lot of the 18-year-olds who register, which was great. And we're still down to, 2,000?
Well, 2990.
Yeah, 2988.
But anything over 2,500 with those demographics would be suspect.
Yeah, we have, we've eliminated, I don't have the exact number in front of me, but it's approximately 20 people that have been deceased.
Yeah.
These aren't just recent, there's some recent ones in there, but these go back decades.
Well, and they don't make it easy for you to get these people off the rolls, even when they
No.
moved away or
And
died.
we have over 200 people with their residency verification, which means that if we don't hear from them as being citizens here after 2 years, 2 to 3 years, they will be removed from two elections, 2 general elections. They'll be removed from the rolls automatically. We're trying to be more proactive and determine where they're currently living, asking them to give us a validation of the fact that they have moved, and then we'll take them off.
Yeah, my family members who they're got the cards filled out. They're off the rolls.
And on the tax side of it, we do the best we can. If there's a forwarding address and the post office didn't forward it, we'll send it to the forwarding address. I've looked up, companies or entities that are created that are registered with the state of Michigan and send it to those addresses. Sometimes we've sent bills out 3 and 4 times, without success. And unfortunately, that creates, some bad feelings with the community because now they're getting a bill from the county who has had LexisNexis, I said that backwards. And they're upset that they're now being charged penalties and interest, but there isn't anything I can do about that.
What's Lexipol?
Police training.
Okay. It's not related to Lexus.
No.
Okay. Any more discussion on bills?
So was that, just to refresh my mind, was that when Ms. Dawn Webb got up and said that we should have extra people on the board because we had so many?
Well, I think it was her suggestion that we should have considered additional people on the board.
Because we went over 3,000.
Because the numbers said we were over 3,000, but in reality, we have less than 3,000.
So where would she get that number? Because she was.
Well, she got it from
The
the clerk.
QVF had
The
3,000.
QBF had 3,008 people, so
But
it's
it
a
wasn't
logical
real
question on her part,
But it's not real.
but it's not a real number
It's not
because
accurate, it's not real.
they have to be qualified. Just
Right.
because you're on that QBF doesn't mean you're qualified.
Right.
I mean, we got a lot of folks that have moved out of the township that we found some 5 years ago and other stuff. So it's just a question of cleaning up the files. And now that we have LexisNexis, it can be done after every election. Or it can be done once a year, whatever the clerk decides to do. That's the beauty of this thing.
Well, and then the
And
only other
and
part
now you
is,
say you're using it for taxes.
right, and so if I find a good address and I know the address in the system is incorrect, we can figure out how to communicate between the treasurer and the clerk, then we don't have to do it twice,
Yeah.
which is my goal.
Great service. Any more discussion on bills? All in favor? Next is appointments. I recommend reappointment to the DDA, the following individuals for 3-year terms: Tyler Gurl, Dan Nivell, Sue Fisher, and Don Bodnar. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Public comment?
The only thing I'd like to bring up is the deal with the MDOT permit. So Mead Hunt, I'm sorry. What's the GC that Wade Trim approached us saying that they had applied for an MDOT right-of-way permit to do the hookup for the MDC project in the Commerce Park. That permit was denied by MDOT, saying they didn't have status and that it had to come from us. So after some back and forth, some conversations with Quinn, we were able to determine that the township has a blanket permit. It should be renewed annually. It's no cost, it's just paperwork. It expired in 22 and had not been renewed. Once Quinn identified the point of contact, which was yesterday, we got the login information, made the application, it was approved this morning. I copied you and Tammy Hunt with permit information, so we're good until the end of 24, but that needs to be on somebody's tickler file going forward, but that be done.
Who's typically done it in the past?
The supervisor, but the only login that ever existed was mine. So.
Well, I will put it on my tickler with that, just to make sure that somebody does it, not necessarily.
Well, I added some other contacts, including Tammy. We're good, they'll do something.
Good job. Thank you.
Board comments.
None here.
I just have some information. I hope everybody will go to Old Fashioned Days. It's going on today. I guess it's gonna block off the streets tomorrow and Saturday, and hopefully the weather holds and it'll be fun for everybody. I do want to make sure that the board knows and the public knows that we got an EPA extension yesterday for a 3.5 million out to 2026. They're still checking on the availability of using our $1 million amount of money that we got from Congress for phase 1 and phase 2. They think it's possible, probably probable, but he's just doing his extra due diligence before we find that out. Because if we do get that 1 million, I think we all recall that we had to shave down, not do the building extension and some other things. Well, we could do that. And the beauty of it is, the guy said the reason he thinks it might be able to be doable is we're not going to need any additional permits, no environmental issues, because we've already got all the permits.
That's great news.
And also, I encourage you all, if you can, be here at 11 o'clock. The public's invited. I don't see any reason why they can't go. On June 10th for the phase 1 loan closing. So June 10th is, July 10th is, I'm sorry, July 10th at 11 a.m. is the big day. All the major players from USDA will be here. Our bond council will be here. Our council would be here. And hopefully construction will start very shortly thereafter. So I'm very excited about that. And hopefully we'll have some news on phase 2 movement by the June 27th meeting.
I got one more comment.
Yes.
I was talking to Morgan of the Great Lakes Fireworks. I was under the impression that our rain date was July 6th. It is not. It is July 7th. To make sure that that's corrected on, if it's not already on the
It's on your site.
website. Okay. And so our rain date is Sunday, July 7th. So hopefully we don't need it though.
Any other comments?
The fireworks are scheduled for July 5th.
Yes.
Rain date July 7th. Music starts at 8:30.
Parking.
Any other comments? I move to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Adjourn. Thank you.
Are you mad if I pick up the mics?
Yes, please do. Thank you.
Are you gonna give me a yes, please? Okay.